Hello, my fellow jokers. Good evening, morning, night, whichever lands on you. Hi. Always so happy to make this video, you guys, because I just enjoy my comment section is like legit. I love you guys and I appreciate you so much. Anyway, today's video is just like, bro, the moment we're getting is not just they're not just sometimes you get moments like, oh, that's so sweet, and we are getting those kind of moments, but at the same time we're getting these other moments that are like, shit, these two really are a couple, you know what I mean? Like, wow, we're backing the right horse. Like, I've never felt more validated. That's a lie. Jikook always validating us. But it's just like, they crazy and I am here for it. Anyway, guys, welcome to today's video. Let's jump right into it. Before we go straight into the video, I have something to say. Jikookers, please you have to let this go. You have to let this moment go because of various reasons. Number one being that, to me, this was cute, okay? It is a cute moment, right? And it's very rare. It is very rare. It's like they just got a drop of water in the Sahara Desert. Like, everything Taekook have been doing since the tour started is just friendly, playing around, goofing about, just like there's nothing. It's just, I'm just like, oh, they're so goofy, like that's all they've been doing this entire tour. This is the one moment they've gotten that can be considered as like a proper like shipping moments. Like, those who believe they're a couple, like this is definitely validating them. But you have to understand, this is the first one of none, and it might be the only one they get for Lord knows how long. So let's just leave them alone, okay? Let's just let them leave. Especially since you can't even compare this with, first of all, the amount of stuff that we have, right? But that aside, there's just, even this moment in itself, how do I explain this without coming off like I'm cheating like I'm bitter? I am not. I'm speaking the truth here. There's something about Taekook moments, how they always end up. There's always a tiny bit of awkwardness in it, only because how do I put this? JK is never prepared for what V pulls out of his pocket, and it shows. When Jimin does something JK was not ready for, like, they are so in sync that JK just moves with the flow and it's just like very natural, and you wouldn't even notice that they hadn't pre-planned whatever. I could choose for a million moments, but let's go with this one. You can see JK had no idea that Jimin was coming. JK is just singing, minding his business, and then Jimin runs towards his baby and wants them to touch heads. Again, JK had no idea this is what Jimin wanted them to do. He just followed his baby's lead, and they created this beautiful, sweet, cute moment. No awkwardness anywhere to be found, even though they hadn't planned this. But with this moment, it's like, okay, JK came close to watch V singing, and then V pulled him in, and he wasn't ready for that, and that kind of shows. And then the whole thing, and then V wants to give him his mic, and JK takes his mic, so he hits V in the mouth with the mic. It's just, guys, this moment is just, it's not. Let them have it, okay? Just leave them alone. Let them have it. You guys have just been, I think I've seen like 6 TikToks just laughing and comparing, and just leave them alone. This is the only thing they're getting for a while. Just let them enjoy, let them leave. Also, when V sings, "Can I come over?" JK clearly says no. And then he starts singing. Like, obviously he's joking because they're goofing around. But the father JK was like, no. And then he started singing. It's like so funny. I'm not going to show it because I'm a jikooker and I make jikook moments. So if you want to see it for yourself, go find it. But JK said no. Now back to the video. First things first. Yeah. Yeah. It just keeps, they're like doubling down. Even after it became a rumor, they haven't stopped. None of that. They're just doubling down. Bruh. Guys, let me just say that I had a plan. I had a plan. I was gonna post moments from like every city just in one video, but there's so much happening that I don't even have time to catch up before something else drops. And then there's real life. So at this point, I'm never gonna get to anything. So I decided I'm just gonna post the moments as they come, and whatever I feel need talking about and further discussion, that's just what I'm going to share. Like I'm just doing whatever now. I like order, but at this point, if I keep waiting to do my stuff in order, I'm never gonna get these videos done. Like, we are not breathing right now. This comeback has come with so much force. Like, we have no time to breathe whatsoever. They said, armies, you're gonna be busy, and we've been. So you're just gonna get whatever moments you get when you get them. Yeah, I can't. Order is out the window, so let's just. This is what we're doing now. Okay, so we established that Please was one of the songs that Jikook are using to sing to each other. But now, after seeing that every single time they sing this song, they start laughing on my knees. That part, they start laughing. They look at each other and they start laughing. And listen, I was ready to give them the benefit of the doubt. I really was. I know that we always go straight to the internal affairs, but I wanted to give them grace. I did. But now, with this look Jimin is giving JK, I don't know, guys, but this look is starting to seem a little bit cheeky, a little bit naughty. I'm on my knees. Why are we laughing, Jimin? Why are we laughing? Like, why is he looking at JK like that? Just waiting until his line comes where he's on his knees and then they start laughing. Like, we know, Jimin, you go on your knees for JK quite often. We know that, but you don't need to keep taking our minds there. At this point, everybody's not just people like me. Everybody's now starting to go there to the internal affairs because there's no reason for them to be laughing like this when this line comes on. You know where my mind also goes, on my knees. Cue the Osaka V Live. We all know what happened. If you do not know what happened, if you're new, just go to YouTube and type Osaka V Live Jikook analysis. JK came live and he was like, oh, my lipstick is smudged. Bro. This guy was on his knees, okay? He was on his knees. But that's a story of another day. So when they're just over here going, I'm on my knees and laughing cheekily and looking at each other, I'm just thinking, Osaka. No, but you guys, yes, Osaka Be Life will always be so iconic. What? Jikookers, we just been living the dream for years, I tell you. Anyway, moving on. Actually, before we move on, there is this other moment where I also believe Jimin was on his knees. Because what do you mean the next day he woke up and his voice had disappeared? Like, it's okay. He said that it's because he shouted the other day when they were at the boat, but in my opinion, he did not really shout that much. They jumped into the water like what, twice, two, three times. He did not shout that much, unless there's other cat footage that we didn't see. But I don't think that was it. And then not to mention like JK's face when Jimmy says that he lost his voice, and then JK's like, really, like as if he didn't know. And then the way he looks at Jimin, and the way Jimin, like it's a whole body language thing that is just going on. We will analyze this on a different video that's not about recent moments. But yeah, I believe Jimin had been on his knees. His throat had been in use. And so that is how he lost his voice. There is also someone who mentioned about how he had trouble sitting down, but I don't think Jimin has issues with taking the junk on that. So anyway, we'll talk about that. Today we're talking about this song and why they think it's funny for Jimin to be on his knees. In conclusion, they're just being naughty once again. What? I need. What's your name, Troy? I need. What's your name? I need. What's your name? I need the whole city in the. Like we already established in an earlier video, Jimin does like to go for JK during this whole body to body chaos. And once again on that clip you can see him trying his best, like he's trying to get to JK, but unfortunately he didn't manage. And when right here he was gonna go in, Jin pulled him away because obviously he's not feeling well. I guess that's why. Okay, El Paso Army. I enjoyed this moment a lot. JK took his time to make this heart. And then when he made it, what did he do? He showed it to Jimin. First he showed it to Ami, then Jimin, then Ami again. And that may look like he's just, showing the heart to Ami, like, I love you, Amis. And then he's showing Jimin, oh, look what I made for Ami. And then, but nah, this heart was meant for Jimin. Make no mistake. We are the ones being shown, like, look at the heart I made for Jimin. Just adding this to the long list of videos where JK tells Jimin he loves him in public in front of us. Yep, enough said. Show me another time JK told another member that he loves him on stage. I'll wait. Oh, that's right. Never. Also, guys, this is how you know this heart was made for Jimin. JK looks a little bit hesitant in the beginning, like he's really thinking about this before he does it. The way he swallows and everything. Like, watch. He looks like it's like he's nervous about what he's about to do. That's how you know this heart was made for Jimin, my guy. So I really like this moment because of multiple reasons. Okay, first let's see the whole clip of him showing it to JK and then showing it to RM. As you saw there, Jimin undressed for JK, but he didn't do that for RM. He's like pointing to the moon, showing the moon to JK, and then he shows JK the tattoos on his back because, of course, he did. But when he shows the moon to RM, he doesn't show RM his naked back. Also, can we talk about the fact that JK went to touch Jimin? Bruh. Crazy work. Man could not help himself. He couldn't. He couldn't. Okay, guys, let's go to the AMs real quick because two moments stood out to me. One, of course, is the most obvious one that we all couldn't stop talking about it. JK's heart eyes to Jimin. Love to see it. I love to see it. And then there was this moment where a fan shouted Jimin's name and JK answered. Or rather, I looked to see who the hell was calling his boyfriend. Takes me back to 2018. That was literally JK's face when a fan called Jimmy's name. Like, what? Love that. I absolutely love that. Also, sorry guys, I fell asleep. I was so sleepy, but I had to give in. But here we are because the show must go on. So next, this guy was working in behind the scenes of the Oreo BTS thing, and this is what he had to say. And something that caught my attention was that there really seemed to be a genuine friendship between them. They were talking, playing, and laughing together all the time, especially Jungkook and Jimin. I remember Jungkook wouldn't stop teasing Jimin. He'd blow in his ear, they'd fool around, and Jimin would react like, ha 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 ha. Don't we have like evidence of this? Like JK, no, Jimin blowing in JK's ear in the behind the scenes stuff?
멤버로 들어왔기 때문에 좀 춤추면서 들어.
So this time it was Jungkook who blew in Jimin's ear. But a few years ago, it was Jimin doing it to JK. That's how you know this tracks, okay? Not that we doubted this story to begin with, because that just sounds like Jikook to a T, fooling around behind the cameras. Like, yeah, that's exactly them. That's what they do all the freaking time. We have seen it all. So yeah, I loved that. I like getting tidbits of accounts from other people about Jikook. That's because there's just so many aunties who say that it's all fan service or it's only for the camera. Yeah, bitch, what about all these other moments of people giving accounts of what Jikook do behind the camera, behind the scenes? Like, are you okay? Oh, and by the way, trash cookers went mental again, you know, like the mental patients that they are, and attacked this guy for feeding sheepers, and to the point that this guy had to apologize. Yeah, nothing new. Just every other Tuesday. Trash cookers being dumb pieces of shit, as usual. Okay, so Jikook serving together in the military has come back again, and it's a point of discourse right now because of this. You can pause to read the whole thing, but basically, Jikook's autographs were in the middle room of their division where they served. So that's neither here nor there. That's just a reminder that they served in the military together, right? So seeing their autographs next to each other is not really a surprise because they did serve together, same unit, same everything, right? So this is me just sharing a few tweets of these ladies who are talking about this, because their wording just got me in my feels all over again. Like, we all know why Jimin and JK served together. Like, you know, set like Jion, like there was no way he was, no freaking way this had to be done, right? But there's just let's just read together the way these people were talking and discussing about it, because it really got me in my feels, because it's absolutely so true. And it's just Jikook, I love their love, and I'm so happy that they have each other. So, this one said, this should have been the moment the discourse ended. Nobody expected it. I remember gasping. At best, I'd hoped they'd enlist on the same day. Being the first ever idols to do this cements that the relationship is different, deeper than any duo ever. Monumental announcement. And then they put the announcement for them to enlisting together. And this person, Aileen, is absolutely right. It is monumental. It was a big deal. I do remember talking about this on Tumblr, and yeah, in the beginning, I was kind of, because Jikook, sometimes they don't know how to control themselves because themselves. So at some point, I was like, should they really be and listen together? But then when we later came and talked about it and came to discuss about it, and we were like, you know, South Korea is like super homophobic, and them getting caught, like they're not dumb enough to do anything while serving, because if they get caught, like that would be, we don't even want to start thinking of the repercussions, right? Like, that's how we know this argument of no, Jikook is not real because couples cannot enlist together. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, what, you just sound so fucking stupid, because what, they did not tick any boxes saying that they are a couple. They did not go around kissing around in the, if they're not even kissing outside on their day-to-day lives in Seoul, why would they start making out in where they'll be risking their, are you okay, are you all right? So yeah, when we accepted the fact that they were gonna tone it down and they were gonna be very careful in the military, we started hope. We were like, oh, what if they enlist together? But they were like, ha ha ha, funny. At most, like this person said, we just expected them to enlist on the same day. And even if you check, like, my, when I was talking back then at the time on Tumblr, I was like, there is no way Jimin is enlisting before JK, like, because Jimin had finished everything and JK had not even started on Golden, and so people are like, oh, Jimin has done the singing, so now he's gonna go next. I was like, no freaking way. There is no way Jimin is not waiting for JK to drop his album. Are you okay? Do you not know them by now? So I did not think that they would enlist together, but I knew that they were gonna wait for each other. But never in a million years did anybody think that they would actually enlist together, and it blew our minds when it happened. So yes, I agree with this person. Their bond is different. Their bond is deeper, and there's no need to argue about that ish, because if your duo, if your faves were as close as you say that they are, then they should have enlisted together, but they did not. Did they now? Then this person quoted her and said, the problem is that I don't think people understand how big this is. Two people choosing to enlist together isn't a small thing. They literally applied for the buddy system because they wanted to spend one of the hardest periods of their lives together. And choosing that means giving up the freedom to pursue separate military paths, assignments, or opportunities. The whole point of the program is to stay together, train together, serve in the same unit, and be discharged together. They were the first idols to ever do it. If people truly understood what that means, half the discourse would have ended right there. For me, this was the end of the war and still the biggest thing they've ever done. I agree. This is even bigger than GCF Tokyo. This is even bigger than Rose Bowl, Hikige. Is even bigger than Satellite Gion, which I normally put at number one, to be honest. Because, but then again, it goes hand in hand with Satellite Gion when you think about it, because this is JK not being able to be without Jimin. So again, Satellite Gion is at the top once more. What I mean by saying Satellite Gion is at the top is that as much as I cannot rate Jikook moments, like it's impossible, I know that number one is Satellite Gion. And I normally put it there because it's irrefutable, it's undebunkable, it's not even up for discussion. It's something that every single person can see, even aunties can see it. They can come up with all kinds of excuses. Oh no, he was running from the mic. Oh, he wanted to be next to Namjoon, like whatever. Okay, fine. But at the end of the day, if you watch many of these videos, it doesn't matter. Is the next time you're gonna say, oh no, he was going next to J Hope. Oh no, he was going next to B. Like, because, but who is always next to these people? Who was next to Namjoon? Jimin. Who was next to whoever? It's always gonna be Jimin. Why? Because you cannot debunk Satellite Jion. JK is normally going to where Jimin is. And that is just period. So I understand when people say like Rose Ball made them Jikookers, GCF Tokyo made them. I get that and I understand that, but it requires analyzing and it's as someone who's just here to judge us and doesn't care is not gonna pay attention to those things. But Satellite Zion, they don't need to be one of us to see what is happening. That's why I normally rate it as number one, and also it just to me is just like it describes like who JK is as a person and the fact that he has chosen Jimin to satellite is just it's like everything in me. You know what I mean? He's safe space, he's comfort. So number one for sure. And this person continued and said, and the craziest part, an experience like this is the kind of thing that can make relationships fall apart. You're together through stress, exhaustion, pressures, uncertainty, basically one of the hardest periods of your life. Meanwhile, these two went through all of that and somehow came out even stronger. That alone says everything to me. And this is true. Like they were bumper to bumper every day. You understand? Same unit, same room sleeping, same showering, same eating, same next to each other for everything. And even after they came out of the military, they were still like this. Immediately after, are you sure, sweets? Let's go together, just them, like bro. Never get enough of each other, despite how much time they spend together. Like, bro, yeah, this is really such a monumental moment, like no joke. Jikook is real. Video is getting too long once again, so I'm dividing this into parts, but don't worry, I will be posting the next one not long after. Love you guys, see you soon.